Welcome back to the feud, everybody. The Absa family won the game.
Yeah!
And now it's time to play
Fast Money!
All right, Mo, this is how Fast Money works. Steve is off stage. He can't see or hear any of your answers. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions in 20 seconds. You can't think of something, you just say pass. If you and Steve together come up with 200 points, look right there. Tell everybody what you're gonna win.
50,000 pula! Yeah!
All right, you ready?
I'm ready.
20 seconds on the clock, please. Time doesn't start until after I finish asking the first question.
Okay.
Name a kind of music your mother wouldn't be pleased if you played it.
Rap music.
Something you use to clean your face.
Face wash.
A bright color young people dye their hair.
Red.
An animal that can hang upside down.
A monkey.
Something you might lose after an all-night party.
Your phone.
Wow. Mo, let's see how we did.
Yes, Uncle Steve.
Name a kind of music your mother wouldn't be pleased if you played it. You said rap. Survey said
Yeah!
something you use to clean your face. You said face wash. Survey said
Yeah!
a bright color young people dye their hair. You said red. Survey said
Yeah!
an animal that can hang upside down. You said a monkey. Survey said
Yeah!
something you might lose after an all-night party. You said your phone. Survey said Mo has gotten the highest score ever since playing Family Feud
That's my wife.
Botswana.
That's why I married her, Steve.
Oh, that's your wife?
That's my wife.
Oh, dog. Oh, you really can't blow this. She done took you almost to the promised land.
Yeah.
She got 170 points.
Wow.
That's so far the highest score on Botswana Family Feud.
girl.
No one has gotten that much. But that also means no one has needed so little.
It's true.
You need 30 points, and you all will be jumping up and down because you will have the grand jackpot, 50,000 pula. Steve, I'm going to ask you the exact same 5 questions. You cannot duplicate the answers. If you do, you're going to hear this sound. I'm going to say try again. You give me another answer. It's going to be a little bit tougher this time, so we'll give you 25 seconds. All right, let's remind everybody of Mo's answers. 25 seconds on the clock, please. The time will start after I finish asking the first question. Name a kind of music your mother wouldn't be pleased if you played it.
Hip hop.
Something you use to clean your face.
Face towel.
A bright color young people dye their hair.
Yellow.
An animal that can hang upside down.
Monkey.
Try again.
A cat.
Something you might lose after an all-night party.
My phone.
Try again.
Some money.
All right, let's go. Name a kind of music your mother wouldn't be pleased if you played it. You said hip hop. Survey said something you use to clean your face. You said a face cloth. Survey said was the number one answer. A bright color, young people dye their hair blonde. Animal hang upside down, monkey was number one. And something you lose after a party, phone was number one. Well, congratulations, Absa. That's 50,000 Pula, but that gives you a grand total, 71,150 Pula. I'm Steve Harvey. We'll see you next time on Family Feud Botswana. Welcome back to the feud, everybody. The 947 radio station won the game, and now it's time to play. All right, Fresh, this is how fast money works. You got Monsui back off stage. She can't see or hear your answers. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions in 20 seconds.
Okay.
You can't think of something, you just say pass.
All right.
If we have enough time, I'll get back to it.
Cool.
If you and Monsui together come up with 200 points, tell everybody what you're gonna win for your favorite charity.
75,000 rand.
75,000. Yeah. All right, you ready?
You ready?
20 seconds on the clock, please. The clock will start after I read the first question. Name the worst thing about having the flu.
Running nose,
A good hiding spot for money.
a mattress,
A word that starts with some.
sometimes,
A popular tourist spot in Cape Town.
Table Mountain,
Something you can soak.
a cloth,
Come on, let's go, Fresh. All right, bud, let's see what we got. I said, name the worst thing about having the flu. You said, runny nose. Survey said? Yeah. A good hiding spot for money. You said, the mattress. Survey said? Yeah. A word that starts with some. And you said, sometimes. Survey said? A popular tourist spot in Cape Town. You said Table Mountain. Survey said? Wow.
I'm trying to...
Something you can soak. You said cloth. Survey said? That's okay, 105 you halfway there, buddy. All right, let's bring out Monsui. Hello, Monsui, darling, how are you? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, he's your co-host.
Yeah.
So he did exactly what your co-host should do.
What, leave you half of the work?
He got 105, you need 95. But it's tough to get 95 in the second position, so you really gotta focus. This is how it's gonna work. I'm gonna ask you the same 5 questions. You cannot duplicate the answers. If you do, you're gonna hear this sound. I'm gonna say try again, you give me another answer. It's gonna be a little bit tougher this time, so we can give you 25 seconds. You ready?
Okay, cool.
All right, let's remind everybody of DJ Fresh's answers. 25 seconds on the clock, please.
Okay.
Clock will start after I read the first question.
Okay.
Name the worst thing about having the flu.
Teary eyes,
A good hiding spot for money.
the fridge,
A word that starts with some.
somewhere,
A popular tourist spot in Cape Town.
Table Mountain,
Try again.
Robin Island,
Something you can soak.
Samp,
All right, let's go. We need 95 points for 75,000 rand. Name the worst thing about having the flu. You said teary eyes. Survey said? Blocked nose was the number one answer, blocked nose. A good hiding spot for money. You said the fridge. Survey said?
That's a
The
perfect...
bed and the mattress. I thought it was a good place, fridge.
Perfect. You wouldn't think of looking in the fridge.
No, black people hide their money in the fridge in the States too, so. A word that starts with some, you said somewhere. Survey said? A popular tourist spot in Cape Town. You said Robins Island. Now, if that's not points, because I only know 2 places, Table Mountain and Robins Island. That's all I know. Survey said?
Only 4? Only...
Table Mountain was #1. And here's the one that's gonna throw me into something if it's got any points. Something you can soak. You said...
It has to be. If it's South
Survey
Africa.
said? Clothes. Clothes was the #1 answer. Come on over. But listen, we're gonna triple the points anyway, so you're gonna walk out with the grand total of 41,100 Rand for your favorite charity. I'm Steve Harvey, everybody. We'll see you next time. Welcome back to the feud, everybody. The Bruce Arthur family won the game. And now it's time to play Money! All right, Audrey, here's how Fast Money works. Dita's off stage. He can't see or hear your answers. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions in 20 seconds. You can't think of something, you just say pass. We have enough time, we'll get back to it. You and Dita together come up with 200 points. Tell everybody what you're gonna win.
$5,000, man.
The people in Ghana crazy.
We are.
Are you ready?
Yep.
20 seconds on the clock, please. Clock will start after I read the first question. Name something you would see in a desert.
Sand.
A sport that requires strong arms.
Pass.
A word people use to describe a baby.
Cute.
Something people enjoy doing on grass.
Rolling.
Something inside your mouth.
Gum.
A sport that requires strong arms. All right, let's go. All right, let's see how we did, Audrey. Name something you would see in a desert. You said a lot of sand. Survey said sport that requires strong arms. A word people use to describe a baby. You said cute. Survey said something people enjoy doing on grass. You said rolling. Watch yourself, girl. Been down there rolling in the grass. All right, who was you with? You and your husband just in that grass, just rolling.
Rolling.
Survey said something inside your mouth. You said gum. Survey said come on, Dita. Dita, listen to me. You can still win this money, but we gotta put in some real work now.
All right.
You need 139 points.
Ooh.
Yeah, don't worry about it though. You can do it. Positive attitude produces positive results.
All right.
Win, 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 no matter what. They don't believe it anymore, so y'all just sitting there going, but Steve, they are so far away. All right, I'm gonna ask you the same 5 questions. You cannot duplicate the answers. If you do, you're gonna hear this sound. I'm gonna say try again, you give me another answer. Gonna be a little bit tougher this time, so we'll give you 25 seconds. You ready?
I'm ready.
All right, let's remind everybody of Audrey's answers. 25 seconds on the clock, please. Clock will start after I read the first question. Name something you would see in a desert.
Sand.
Try again.
Camel.
A sport that requires strong arms.
Wrestling.
A word people use to describe a baby.
Kid.
Something people enjoy doing on grass.
Playing golf.
Something inside your mouth.
Tongue.
My man. All right, Dita, let's go. Let's see what we got, man. We need 139 points. Name something you would see in a desert. You said a camel. After you said sand, that's a smart answer. Survey said. Number one answer was sand. Sand was the number one answer. Sport that requires strong arms. You said wrestling. Survey said boom. Wrestling was the number one answer. We need 94 points. A word people use to describe a baby. You said kid. Survey said cute. Cute was the number one answer. We need 80 points. Something people enjoy doing on grass. You said golf. Survey said number one answer was picnic. Picnic. 67 points away. Something inside your mouth. You said tongue. Survey said tongue was the number one answer. Man, they was right there. Well, folks, all right, I gotta tell you this. Add your score to your points. We triple that. To your earlier score, you're gonna walk out here with a grand total, $5,125. I'm Steve Harvey. We'll see you next time. Back to the feud, everybody. The Twello family won the game. And now it's time to play. All right, here's how fast money works. Chemo is off stage. She can't see or hear any of your answers. I'm gonna ask you 5 questions in 20 seconds. You can't think of something, you just say pass. You and Chemo together come up with 200 points. Tell everybody what you're gonna win.
75,000 rand.
All right, you ready?
Yes, sir, I am.
20 seconds on the clock, please. Clock will start after I read the first question. After a bad breakup, name something people do to pictures of their ex.
Cut.
A musical instrument played with your mouth.
Saxophone.
A position people usually sleep in.
Pass.
A type of sugar.
Brown sugar.
Besides a square, name another shape.
Triangle.
A position people sleep in.
Sideways.
Yeah, there you go. Well, let's see how we did. All right, ladies. After a bad breakup, name something people do to pictures of their ex. You said, cut them up. Survey said, a musical instrument played with your mouth. You said, saxophone. Survey said, a position people usually sleep in. You said, sideways. Survey said, a type of sugar. You said, brown sugar. Survey said, besides a square, name another shape. You said, triangle. Survey said, it's pretty good. Chemo,
Yes, sir.
your sister did pretty good.
Of course.
Of course, she got
course.
123
Eyeball.
points. Yeah, eyeball.
Eyeball.
Eyeball, baby. You need 77 to win.
Yes.
You get 77 points, we're gonna give y'all 75,000 rand. Chemo, I want you to focus now.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna ask you the same 5 questions. You cannot duplicate the answers. If you do, you're gonna hear this sound. I'm gonna say try again, you give me another answer. It's gonna be a little bit tougher this time, so I'm gonna give you 25 seconds. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Let's remind everybody of your sister's answers. 25 seconds on the clock, please. Clock will start after I read the first question. After a bad breakup, Name something people do to pictures of their ex.
Delete them.
A musical instrument played with your mouth.
Flute.
A position people usually sleep in.
Pass.
A type of sugar.
Brown sugar.
Try again.
White sugar.
Besides a square, name another shape.
Triangle.
Try again.
Rectangle.
A position people usually sleep in.
On flat on the back.
Well, let's see how we did. We need 77 points for 75,000 rand. Come on, ladies.
Yes. Come on.
After a bad breakup, name something people do to pictures of their ex. You said, delete them. Survey said, burn them was the #1 answer. Burn them. We're 55 points away, 75,000. A musical instrument played with your mouth. You said, the flute. Survey said, flute was the #1 answer. We need 16 points for 75,000 rand. A position people usually sleep in. You said, flat on their back. Survey said, sideways was the #1 answer. Ladies, we're 5 points away from 75,000 rand. A type of sugar. You said white sugar. Survey said, brown sugar was the #1 answer. The other shape was a circle. Well, that's 75,000 rand, but you walk out here with a grand total of 98,300 rand. I'm Steve Harvey. We'll see you next time, folks.